Hey guys, today we got a little preview of Pixel Heroes Byte and Magic. It's a new game just launched on Xbox Live. Just gonna start a new game for the sake of the video. You have 3 campaigns here. Initially you only have 1 unlocked, the hard difficulty. Every time you beat a campaign you unlock the next one. So now here at the tavern, you can select 3 heroes for your journey. Now, there's a bunch of different classes in the game. You don't have them all at first. You have to unlock them by completing the achievements usually. If you don't like what you see here, you can always re-roll. Now, for me personally, I always take a war mage. They're very powerful, like magic-wise. But most importantly, they have 2 very strong special skills. Next up for my party, I keep somebody with usually high strength and HP in the front. Most of the time you just need somebody in the front to soak up damage, so anybody with like really high HP stat. And most important, you need a healer. If you don't have a healer, this game's gonna rip you up. So once you select your 3 heroes here, this stupid guy comes out, billboard guy, and gives you a little insight into your main quest. Now, this is the hub of Pixton. This is where you come after every quest. You see they start you off with a couple spare accessories in your bag you can equip. And potions. Now, potions you can't use a potion during battle. The potions, if you have any potions in your backpack, you can only use them after a battle to like refill the health of your guy. During the battle, you just have to rely on whatever magic you have equipped, which is why I say it's very important to have a healer, or somebody who can use healing spells, because you have no other way of healing. And if your guy dies on the outside, you can bring him back in town and revive him at the temple, but once you leave town, you cannot come back until your quest dungeon is cleared. You see you have random NPCs wandering around. A few of them have quests. It doesn't matter whose quest you take. You just take somebody's quest and then you can leave town and go right there. But before you go, well, right now it doesn't matter because it's the beginning of the game, but usually you should check out the blacksmith. Sometimes he has good stuff. There's a temple there if you have the money and you need to buy more potions. Also, if you need to revive a character. The library is for your magic using stuff. Like, it has attack tomes and healing tomes. Any kind of tomes. Yeah. So now that you're on the world map, you exited the town, you automatically travel towards your dungeon. And you bump into a bunch of random encounters with usually crazy people. It gives you multiple choices, but sometimes, even though you pick a certain choice, sometimes different things happen because of that choice. It's not always the exact same outcome, so it's kind of random, but usually you have a general idea of what's happening. Like, usually you can ignore the things, and that's like it's the safest bet if you're on the way back from a dungeon, let's say, and you're very low on health, or maybe you have a few guys dead. But you see, now I'm engaged in a battle. Other than that, it's a pretty good idea usually to engage as many as you can, because you can get, like, first of all, experience to level up your characters, or you can just get other helpful stuff like items and, you know, gold. Battles. Each character has 2 special skills, and then you have the 2 items you see here. They have equipped, for example, the sword and shield my smelly dwarf has. You can use like any one you want. It doesn't matter. If you have spell tomes, you can use them as much as you want. You don't have MP or anything like that, but your skills have a round cooldown, so you have to wait till the amount of time passes, and it carries over from battle to battle. So if you use, like, let's say you have a healing skill and it takes like 15 rounds to cool down, if you exit the battle, you still have to wait whatever amount of rounds are left. And after every battle, it takes you into your inventory screen, so if you want to check out all the loot you get. There we go. And another note on the battles. Your weaponry, magic you can strike anywhere, and sometimes you get spells that can attack every single person. But for regular weaponry, they have ranges on them. And like, let's say my range is only 1, I can only attack the first character. If you want to attack the character all the way in the back, you're gonna need a weapon with a range of 3. But I should also note, let's say my character all the way in the back row, my herbalist, let's say he has a sword with a range of 1. That doesn't mean he can't hit anybody because he's all the way in the back. He can still attack the front row enemy. Yeah, so usually it's a good idea, like, well, it's not too hard now, but as you progress in your quests, you might want to keep an eye on your health, top it up. If you have the potions, anyway. This is the dungeon layout. The dungeon layouts are always the same. You got 7 rooms and then a boss room. Now each room consists of just 1 encounter. It's most of the time it's just fights, just a regular fight. But sometimes you get a challenge room, and I'm going to show you, you're going to see what I mean a little later on in this video when I'm talking about challenge room. See, and yet another note about battles, I don't know if you noticed this so far yet, but you go back, you take your turns back and forth. You know, your enemy attacks once, you attack once. Enemy attacks, you attack. But you can't use your same character twice in a row. They need 1 round to rest. So sometimes you can get like really stuck. Like I found myself really on the defensive sometimes, and since I only have 1 person capable of healing, sometimes you find yourself struggling to catch up. So you're like healing every second round, trying to keep your guys' health up. Because the thing that'll mess you up most in this game are the status effects. Those really are like the main thing to worry about. Because enemies inflict a lot of status effects, usually pretty easily. And sometimes you get multiple status effects. So like you're bleeding, and you're on fire, and you're poisoned, and you're just losing massive amounts of health around. And you can't really afford to do that, because when your character dies, that's it. There's no way of reviving him until you get back to the town. Now, here's a challenge room. You see, usually the challenge is based off of a... I failed. Yeah, I don't care. I'm just going to keep doing it anyway for the video, because I really don't care what happens to this stupid dwarf anyway. Like, I mean, I'm overwriting this data as soon as this video is over, so they're going to be gone anyway. Straight to the graveyard for them all. Let's see if this poor bastard war mage can do it. Oh yeah, here we go. I mean, you can choose the option to smash it, but I did that once and it set off a trap, which actually damaged my entire group. So you do get some pretty good loot from these things, so you should always do them if you can. But if I was playing this seriously, I would have just ignored this room, because if your stats aren't good enough, and like I say, you can't really afford to let one of your characters die. And I mean, because I guess I haven't mentioned this yet, but there's permadeath. You can revive your characters. There's permadeath in the game, but it's not like normal permadeath. It's permadeath in regards that when all your characters die, there's no save point to fall back on. You have to restart your entire game. All your heroes go into the graveyard, which you can see from the main menu. It gives you all the information, like how they died, and you know, just a rub in your face, I guess. And that's it. You have to start a new game from the beginning. Kind of sucks, but people like the challenge. See, I only have 2 guys, so I have no choice. They go back and forth, one guy, one guy, one guy, one guy. But if one more was to die, then you don't have to wait a turn. You don't have to rest a turn. You can just keep going every round. See, in this I do like the level up system, because you can, you know, you get to choose whatever stats you want. And like, I mean, what I usually do is I take the one stat my character specializes in, and I just focus on that, occasionally putting in some, you know, points into life, so I'm not an easy target. If I don't get it this time, I'm skipping it. Oh, look at that, he's got the golden touch, that war mage. I got the boss up next, so let's see how that works out. Anyway, yeah, like I was saying, because obviously my main stat would be intelligence, because every bit of intelligence puts up your attack power with your tomes or magic skills that he has. And for the priest, or well, in this case I have an herbalist, the healing stat increases a lot more when you... Sorry, I should say your healing power increases a lot more when you increase your faith stat. So I literally just put almost every point I get into their stat. I ignore every other stats besides life. For the... if my poor dwarf were still alive, I'd be putting a lot of my stats into health and strength, just about evenly. Because like I said, I use my mage a lot to attack. You know, he does more damage, I find, than you know, physical attacker. Yeah. Okay, stupid boss. A lot of the times, bosses are immune to certain status effects too. So I don't know. A lot of this game depends on you being able to adapt. Like my playthrough, my successful playthrough anyway, I tended to not look as much at the stats of my equipment, like you know, like the defense or whatever. I mainly kept an eye on the stats that they protected me from. Then let's say now I'm fighting this guy and he likes to poison me and stun me. I make sure, like beforehand obviously, that I have those kind of protections equipped, so I'm not sitting here trying to debuff the entire fight, if you even have a spell to debuff. Because I think there's one character, I believe the Enchantress, she has a debuff skill, but the cooldown on that is ridiculous. You don't want to rely on that. And the only other time I seen a debuff was when I had a priest. He came with a debuff spell. I'm not sure really if I can beat him, to be honest. Yeah. See, that's the problem. It takes a turn just to break free from stun. This especially sucks when you have a healer, and you know you break free from your stun. You're basically losing your turn. and you can't heal till next round because your next character has to go, because the main character, you know, your character needs a rest after. That's another it's another reason why status effects are so bad in this game. If certain ones hit your healer, then you're out of luck. They can really, really, really mess up your battle and your game. Like, for example, oh there we go. Man, that's great. You got an achievement. Now you really have to make sure you heal when you're in a position like this, because this is an actual true story. I beat the boss and I barely had any health because my healer was dead. I figured, well, I'll get back to town. I can ignore the random events and everything. And then I ran into a random event. You can't really, there's no really clear ignore option. So I tried one of the options and I ended up getting attacked, and the goddamn monster killed me. And you know, I had to restart the whole damn game because I was fucking stupid. One of the annoying things too, like, because I used to carry all kinds of different status effect items, status effect protections. So you know, so every dungeon I go to, I could be prepared, basically. And it's just like every battle I would have to go and drop items, because you can only carry 20 items in your backpack, and it doesn't let you continue until you have 20 or less items. So every battle I would have to, like, throw out the stuff. Kill the dog. Anyway, so that's basically the flow of the game. You know, you start your game, you choose your characters. You have about 7 quests to do. You can check in your quest log the amount there. You have about 7 quests to do. Then the main last quest, where you go to a dungeon, fight the last boss, and then that's it. You beat the campaign. Go to a dungeon, back to town. Go to a dungeon, back to town. Okay, that's it for the video today. I hope you enjoyed the preview, and see you in the next video. Ciao.